Hey, this is Mark Henry, author of Dancing with Energy, Healing, Magic, and Mysticism, here to talk to you more about the occult and the paranormal. All right, so title of today's lecture is The Magical and Spiritual Practices During a Societal Lockdown. So most of us are in lockdown. I think it's 42 states out of the 50 of the United States. And I guess the question is, what are some suggestions that we can do as magical, occult, spiritual practitioners to do during this time? This was a question that I got on one of my on my Facebook. It was a comment, so I kind of wanted to kind of address that. But first, I like to say that I find that this lockdown is something that affects more extroverted people than introverted people. Extroverted meaning that people who like to connect with others, and more specifically large groups of people, so they're more likely to kind of go out, hang out with their friends, go and attend parties and places where there are groups of people. When you have a lockdown, a quarantine, where you are pretty much told that can't happen, that even restaurants are not allowed to really serve more than a few people at a time, and sometimes they won't even allow you to come into their establishment. They kind of give you your food on the curb. Then these aren't the right environmental conditions to satisfy the extroverted person. So now, on the other hand, you have an introverted person who is very comfortable being by themselves or having one or two friends, and this is not something that bothers them that much. On the third variable is when we're talking about people who are into the things that topics that this channel is about. I think you're probably going to run into more introverted people. So this will apply to some people, and maybe not for others. But I wanted to kind of give some suggestions of what I would do during this time, because things have slowed down so much that it's possible to look at this as a possible gift. There seems to be much less, traffic and noise and all these types of things that could really, if you embrace it, could allow you to go deeper into certain levels of activity. One is, if you've never practiced mindfulness, that would be my number one suggestion. To get to know the rhythms of your body, to focus on your breath. Pay attention to your chest as your breath goes in and out of your lungs. Go for a mindfulness walk where you are not in your head, you are paying attention, directing your awareness to the movements of your body and the weight of how your body shifts. Feeling of your shoulders, the all the different types of things that you can be aware of. It could be the breeze, but what you're not doing is trying to get into the ego state, and you're trying to think about what you're going to be having for dinner, or what you're going to give your friend for their birthday. You're going to be just paying attention to the moment and what's going on. Mindfulness has become pretty popular nowadays, even though it's based on Eastern traditions. But that would be my first thing to focus on. In fact, I find that if someone who is someone who's learning magic, and they start learning about mindfulness and these sorts of things, that it can actually improve their practice. It can make them more intuitive. It can pull them out of their mind and the chatter of what goes on there, which can cause one to misinterpret, to not clearly perceive things. So it's my first suggestion. My number two suggestion would be, if you've never gotten into it, this would be a time to practice astral projection. There are plenty of books on it if you've never tried it, courses you can take online. It is really, basically where your imagination and otherworldly dimensions meet. And when you're able to do that and explore those realms, you get to know more about yourself, the world, your mind. It is really an amazing thing. In fact, I find that when the more I actually do astral travel, astral project, that it has some side effects that I find rather pleasant. One is that it will make you a better intuitive. It'll make you a more sensitive psychic. You'll be able to interpret energy better because you're actually you're entering another type of space. So, highly recommend that. Some people would consider it fundamental, but this is really something that you can really do, by yourself, and doesn't require, anybody around. So the third thing I'd want to suggest is wealth magic. And the reason why I suggest practicing wealth magic, because when there's a societal shutdown, of course, many people are out of work, maybe laid off, furloughed. Your boss says, "Get the hell out of here." whatever your situation is, most people don't have any money coming in besides the stimulus package that's coming out. Some people can work from home, but others, especially people who are in the hospitality entertainment industry, servers, all those sorts of professions, are having a harder time nowadays. So wealth magic would be a really good thing to start to work on, to help garner the forces of good fortune. Try to set everything up so that when the lockdown ends and the economy restarts, that you'll be in a better position to attract new opportunities, to maybe get your job back, but ultimately stack the odds in your favor for a much more prosperous and abundant future. Now, the second part of that, and by the way, I'm not suggesting a particular form of wealth magic. You can conjure spirits, you can do various things. You can also do, actually, my favorite thing is create a wealth servitor. And by the way, I've done videos on financial magic, servitors, and everything. So all these different things, astral projection, all these different things you can find videos on. So I'm not just throwing stuff out there and telling you to go do it and you don't know how to do it. There are videos in my list if you want to go check it out. So the financial servitors. So that'd be my next suggestion, which would be part of the wealth magic, is to right now create a servitor. One that you design to help attract good luck, good fortune, maybe opportunities, make you become aware of financial opportunities that you may have not been conscious of before. Just a servitor, an energetic being that can be on your side and help you with this area of your life. Now, when you start to create it, it's not going to have a lot of power, so now is the time to create it so you can continually charge it, work with it a little bit, and by the time the lockdown is over and things start to gradually get back to what we're used to, your servitor will be primed and ready to move forth on your behalf. So that's basically it. I want to create a short video to give you some food for thought about how to use your lockdown time for in service of the occult and paranormal and yourself. So that is about it. Please subscribe and like. I'll put some links. You can certainly support me on Patreon if you like. I have bonuses and videos and things if you're not already a member. And I appreciate all the people that are supporting me presently. And that is it. I hope that you'll all have a safe week, and I will see you in a future video.